Hello, encouragers. I'm Rebecca Scott, wife, mother of 4, author, and owner and designer of Rebecca Scott Designs. I'm here to encourage you, to make you feel the I can do this spirit each and every day of our awesome journeys to fulfill those many important roles. I believe we are fully equipped to execute, and I will provide you with as much knowledge and practices and systems as I can to help you understand just what I know you can do. Execute. We got this. Hello, encouragers. Today I've got a fun bonus episode for you because as soon as it left her mouth, I was like, oh my goodness, the listeners have got to get their hands on this. During this time of year, and especially right now with this virus and everything going on, there's all these different gift ideas, like how do we still treat some of these very important holidays or events, even though we are not able to touch someone? And my friend Tiffny Hagan from Virtual Office Advantage, she's been on the podcast before, everybody. Please listen to her podcast. They're amazing, and there's more to come. Has created something that is just perfect for this time of year. And a little bit of background, we are recording this when the kiddos are at home, when we're all busy homeschooling. So mine are somewhat downstairs painting a tree, and there's 3 girls, lots of giggles. So that may appear in this podcast. Then we have, and I'll let Tiffany talk here in a second. Tiffany says, Rebecca, there's a French horn in my background. Can you hear it? So I said, oh. So I don't think you will hear it, but that is her son practicing some French horn things. And then also, side note, Tiffany said this one will jerk on your heartstrings a little bit. So welcome, Tiffany, to the podcast. A very long intro for you.
Thank you. It's so fun to be here. It's fun to be here talking about something different today.
Yes. And that's what I'm highly going to encourage you to. We are all getting a little creative with how to treat these different events. So some of the fields that we are talking about for my business, Rebecca Scott Designs, is how are we going to do Mother's Day this year? How are we going to do, there's actually a Nurses Day, and goodness, do they need a gift this time of year and through this season? And how are we going to treat our teachers that are scrambling to figure out how to teach our kids outside of their awesome buildings? And then also, which is where Tiffany comes in, our graduates. I mean, to get you in the right frame of mind, and Tiffany does not need to be in this frame of mind, so just don't tear up on us yet, Tiffany. But,
okay.
You know, these guys will not walk down their graduation aisles. They will not walk across that stage. They will not have their name announced. I'm sure the schools are getting creative. But to think about that as parents, what that is going to be like, I do have a real, just a soft spot for what they are going through emotionally, how to close that chapter and start a new chapter when they didn't get to fully say goodbye to all of their classmates and even the building and the teachers and just those memories. So Tiffany has created something that's the perfect gift for us to be able to give to our awesome graduates, whether they are your children, whether they're your nieces or your friends. It's just going to be awesome. So Tiffany, tell us a little bit about the background of your product.
This actually, I did not mean for this book to launch at the same time that this COVID thing is launching. Actually, it's just kind of an accident, but this is about a year in a making. So I do have a high school senior right now, and she is missing all of those rites of passages that you talked about. And a year ago, when I was watching some of her friends graduate, and I had some other moms that I was watching, I was looking for graduation gifts. I was looking at maybe what was given, and there was just something, for me personally, there was just something missing. The gifts were great, but there was something that was missing. And then so as I talked to other parents about, hey, what did you get for your high school graduation? Or what are those things that stuck with you? The things that came about were not, they weren't the things. They were more like, hey, I still have the card that my grandma wrote to me in her own handwriting. And I still have it. And it's in this, it's in a drawer, or it's, they're like the special pieces. They're the handwritten pieces. They're there's those type of things that people just hold on to, and all the rest of the kind of trinket things just go by the wayside over the years.
Yes.
And so, so as I was thinking about it, I'm a little bit of an entrepreneur. I never thought I was a serial entrepreneur, but I guess here I am. as my head was starting to wrap around this, I started to think about, I have a few of those special things, and they're tucked away, and my heart just started to swell. And it was this: we have got to have some sort of a book, a thing, a something to hold all of those special things. And it just kind of bloomed from there into what it is today. So it's been about a year in the making, from thought to now fruition, I guess.
Oh, it's awesome. I love this. And I think before we continue, we do need to pay, I don't even know what the right word is, Tiffany, but like your daughter, Maddie, just to frame it up, what are some of her feelings about graduation coming forward, or what are some of the unique ways that she and her friends are still managing to reach out to one another?
So Maddie she is super soft-hearted, but she is also, she lives in her head a lot. And so she is disappointed and she is sad. You can just read it on her face. Mm-hmm. You can just tell it in her spirit. They're doing e-learning, and that's fine. She loves the learning portion of it. So thankfully, I'm not struggling to get her to continue to finish out her year. But you can just tell there's that thing that's missing. And she is a super social kid. So for her to miss, seeing her friends every day and going somewhere every day, she's struggling with it. But so that's the heart part of her. But the head part of her, she's doing pretty well keeping it in perspective, saying, I know this is a global issue. I know that people are getting very sick and some are dying. But, she can't help but feel a little cheated. There's a lot of things that people aren't thinking about that they just don't get. They don't, you know what I mean? They just don't get. So I do know, though, that, thankfully we didn't have it when I was in high school, but thankfully now with phones and social media and the online spaces, they're doing Bible studies via Zoom. They're doing, social media meetups. They're doing all of those things to keep in contact with each other. Even though it's not quite the same, it's, they still can get together. I will tell you one little fun thing that they're doing. So her friend group is doing kind of a fun tag game. So one of the girls started it, and she got a piece of chalk and a little present for the first friend, and went to the driveway, wrote a little message in chalk, and left her little present in the driveway, and then texted and said, hey, come outside. And she had left this little thing. So then the next friend came to Maddie's house and said, tag your it, love Kate, left a little flower, message.
Stop. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's just, and so then Maddie did it to the next friend and the next friend. And so it's just kind of special. They're thinking of each other.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Creative. Yeah.
Oh, well, I had you tell it because it just kind of helps us get in the right frame of mind for what these seniors are. That just tears at my heart. The little tag game. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It is hard. There's a graduation gown and her stole hanging in her closet. So is she wearing it? Is she not wearing it? It's just the basic things. Not basic, but it's kind of like that's the end cap. That's the piece that most all of us got that. We got to have that moment of hearing our name for the final time, really, in your high school career and getting that diploma. And it's a big deal. It's a big accomplishment. That I'm hoping that they still get. In some form, I'm hoping that they still get.
Which they will when you tell everybody about the product that you have, because it is both a physical way of marking this momentous occasion and a very heartfelt way of marking this. So tell us a little bit more about your Happy Thought book. And I'm going to speak for Tiffany before she can even speak up, because I think it's a perfect marry, which is probably why my tummy was like, just so excited as soon as she told me about it, because it's such a beautiful marry between her organization business, her motherhood, and then her print job. Like that's what she does for businesses. And so this product came as like the momentous moment of, oh my goodness, this is used all of Tiffany's super skills like I talk about frequently on the podcast. So first, everybody go to happythoughtbooks.com. That is where they're available. And tell us now more about the book, Tiffany.
Okay, so Happy Thought Books, if you think about a smaller book, it's about 6 by 9, and it's part journal, part scrapbook. Mm-hmm. That's the best way that I can describe it. And it is a personalized book that a mom, an aunt, a grandma, a family member, a friend can go design on the website. So what we ask is that you bring your favorite photo of the graduate, upload it, add a personal note, and then we do the rest. We create the book for you and send it out to you. So on the front, you'll have this beautiful personalized picture, and I've got some cool templates that you can upload the photo into to make it truly yours. But the beauty is on the inside pages. The inside pages are personalized with your loved one's name, but there is a lot of white space for you to be able to write that personalized message, or maybe share a favorite recipe, tell your best piece of college advice, all of the things that you want to share with the graduate. But they're not just pages. So the pages actually tear out cleanly. You can mail them to family or friends anywhere, have them, do their thing to it. I have one friend who actually physically scrapbooked on one of Maddie's pages, got out her glue, got out all of her, sparkles, everything, and sent it back to me. And you can put it cleanly right back into the book. So you can start to compile those pages from everybody that you send a page to that means something and is important in that graduate's life. So you can put it back into the book and just compile all of the pieces of advice and the love and the pieces of encouragement that we all need to send them into the next step into life.
Okay, several thoughts here, because I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys don't understand. So I got to see this when we were doing a Zoom call together, Tiffany and I. And when she tore out the pages first, I was like, wait, what? And then she told us what she would put on it, and then they just click, for lack of a better term, right back into the book. So it's beautiful. And the best part is it's kind of picture like you're at a baby shower, a bridal shower, whatever kind of showers they have now. When you remember back in my day, you passed around index cards and then you put your favorite recipe on them. Now they send them in the mail with the wedding invite or the baby shower invite or whatever. But this is similar to that concept, but way more beautiful. And then you get to add fun stickers or a picture or a quote or journal to them. There's so many endless options on these 50 beautiful pages within there. I just can't help but think this will be her grab us if there's a fire book.
Right.
Right. She'll be like, I cannot not have this. And she'll remember what her aunt said, and she'll remember what her grandma said, and what mom's roommate from college told her. Where she's like, what? My mom did. There'll be so many meaningful people and memories within these pages as they go out in the mail. I just wanted to frame it up. This is just so perfect for our graduates.
It is. And it's the, yes, grab it if there's a fire. And there's also a grab it when I feel alone. Because we all have those days where we're like, oh my gosh. So Maddie her next step is to go to college. So we've all had those days when we are sitting by ourselves thinking, what did I do? I'm here all by myself. Mm-hmm. I don't really have any friends yet. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. And this is the thing that they will grab to read, to say there's some encouragement in this book. And there are those, somebody is going to write, just give it a month, give it a semester before you make any big decisions, give it some time. And there's going to be that gem in there that somebody that was super important to that kid wrote that's going to make a huge difference to what their decision is.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I like the idea that they have time to sit with it. So you send it in the mail, and it's not like you're at the shower and you only get 10 minutes to write something quick and everybody writes the same thing. They get to make it their own. So she'll remember oh my goodness, clearly my cousin signed it too, because there's this cute little handwriting from a 5-year-old. This is just, what a beautiful way to celebrate the graduates and allow them to have this moment that they may have had, that they may have forgotten if the person was at their graduation party in their garage eating a cupcake when they didn't feel like they could hop in the line to tell Maddie. This book lets them have that moment.
Yes. And it's in writing, whether you're writing it or drawing it or typing it and running it through a printer, whatever it is that you're doing, it's there. And, you know, you made a good point. So when you're in the garage and you're eating a cupcake, even if you do get in line to share something with them, it is such a whirlwind of a day.
Yeah.
They may or may not remember, or they might just kind of just pass it off. But like with this, it's in writing. They can read it time and time again. And each time it's going to mean a little something different. I am really excited. One of the pages that we sent was to a couple of kids that Maddie has babysat for a couple of summers. So she has been able to watch them grow up over the summers. And I'm really excited to see what they write, to see what they do on their page and what they share with Maddie.
Yes.
It's just everybody has a different perspective of that graduate, and they have a relationship with that person. So it is so personal, and it's just for that person. This is not a go buy it off the shelf kind of a gift. This is a one of a kind.
Yes.
And so then I'll also add with that, we do include some really soft they're insert pages that there are two that you can add some, maybe you want to add a gift card. Maybe you want to add a handwritten recipe card. Maybe you want to add some cash, that sort of thing. There's some zipper pouches that will hold, you know, those little things securely. There's a couple of pages that will hold those gift cards in there tight. So it truly is, you can add gifts to it if you'd like to, in addition to your handwritten notes.
I love that. I love that too, because the gifts are going to have to get creative this year as well. And so to be able to put like a gift card to their Taco John's or, you know, wherever their go-to will be, or if it's your past college town, I think, oh my gosh, there'll just be so many fun things for them to put inside this. Or like you mentioned, like movie tickets and trinkets and things like that.
Right.
So good.
Right.
So encouragers, make sure that you sign up on our email list, and that's available at theencouragerpodcast.com, because our email comes out on Wednesday, and that will have listed the happythoughtbooks.com where these books are available. I highly encourage you to grab these books now, because you need to get them sent out to the people on your list for your graduate, or send it as a gift to the mom who has a graduate and is scrambling with how to make them feel special. So go to happythoughtbooks.com and tell Tiffany we sent you. And then we'll have the links to this in the show notes here too, so that all you have to do is click through and grab it.
Yep. And for these 2020 graduates, we're doing free shipping. And
fun.
if you live in Sioux Falls, my son, who's playing his horn upstairs, will actually be the delivery boy. So we'll actually deliver to your door. We'll just make it a family project. Yeah. So, but yeah, in any event, there is some free shipping just to help with that too.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you for offering that. So, Tiffany, is there anything else you would like to offer our encouragers as any form of encouragement going forward for our graduates?
I would just say to make sure that you're telling your graduates, whether they are neighbors, friends, or they're your own kids, just to make sure that you're being gentle with them, because they might be a little bit on edge, and just let them know how much you truly do love them and how much they have already impacted the world, because they're going through some rough stuff now, even though it might not seem that big to us. Just be gentle with them.
That's such a great phrase. I've been saying breathe grace and forgiveness within every breath, because you'll need both of them. Everybody's perspective is so different, and everybody's roles and, life is so different right now. So just make sure, like you said, just be gentle, especially with our seniors. Just be gentle. Well, thank you, Tiffany. Everybody, head on over to happythoughtbooks.com. The next podcast that we're going to have with Tiffany, and don't kid yourself, I'm going to put her on the spot right now, is going to be why your where matters. And Tiffany's going to teach us about organization and why your desk space and where you work at matters, especially right now as we're working from home. So stay tuned for that. Thanks, encouragers. Until next time, we got this.
I know how you can start executing on all the things that God has equipped you to do. You can pick up my book at theencouragerpodcast.com and check out the store complete with book, journal, and the master course. Also, make sure to check out the resources tab where you'll get a hold of all the PDFs from the podcast. Thank you for tuning in, encouragers. Remember to subscribe so it's automatically on your phone. And please rate and review me. We got this, encouragers.